Hello everyone, welcome back to my videos. I was listening to this brother. He was asking questions from their material, which this must be worldwide, so every Jehovah's Witness in every Kingdom Hall will hear this information. Now, you know, I have done major research on Ezekiel temple. Now, by Jehovah's Witnesses religion, this temple would not be built, and it would be, my understanding, it was just a spiritual temple. But there's a new teaching, what I just found throughout the Kingdom Halls of last week, preaching something different that almost totally shocked the crap out of me. Now I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked two friends of mine. When was the third temple of Ezekiel built? So I'm going to let you ponder on that. So I want you to listen to this conversation between this elder and different people making a comment. I think it was two sisters, and the one that gave the comment that it's going to knock your socks off, it was another sister. So analyze it and see what you think, and I'll get back to you. Till then, be prepared. Thank you very much, and I'll see you after y'all examine this talk.
And we'd like to have someone share with us verses 1 and 8. Sister Parker. Then we'd like to have someone else share with us in chapter 48, verses 30, 32 to 34. Sister Sharon Marshall. So first we'll have Sister Cynthia Parker share 47 verses 1 and 8. She's down front.
Then he brought me back to the entrance of the temple, and there I saw water flowing eastward from under the threshold of the temple. For the front of the temple was facing east. The water was flowing down from under the right side of the temple, south of the altar. And then verse 8 reads, Then he said to me, This water flows toward the eastern region and continues down through the Arabah and enters the sea. When it enters the sea, the water there will be healed.
Thank you, Sister Parker. Now in chapter 48, Sister Sharon Marshall is going to share verse 30 and then 32 to 34.
Verse 30 reads, These will be the exits of the city. The northern side will measure 4,500 cubits. Verse 32 to 34, The eastern side will be 4,500 cubits long, and there are 3 gates, 1 gate for Joseph, 1 gate for Benjamin, and 1 gate for Dan. The southern side will measure 4,500 cubits, with 3 gates, 1 gate for Simeon, 1 gate for Issachar, and 1 gate for Zebulun. The western side will be 4,500 cubits long, with 3 gates, 1 gate for Gad, 1 gate for Asher, and 1 gate for Naphtali.
Thank you. We thank both of our readers. Now, a question on that is, why did the Jewish exiles not expect every detail of Ezekiel's vision to be fulfilled literally? Sister Valdez, we'll start with you.
Although some details apply literally, something far greater is implied. First of all, the visionary temple on a whole was too large to fit on Mount Moriah, which was under the where the former temple was. Also, Ezekiel's temple was not in the city, but some distance away, on a separate tract of land. And also, the prophecy speaks of this river, but no literal river ever emerged from Jerusalem's temple. So all of this, just these three things, all imply something that must be greater spiritual fulfillment.
Thank you.
So, let's have another dose. But this time, I'm going to break it down. So let's get into the beginning of the sister. Going to be reading the first set of scriptures. And you know what I do best? I rip everything apart. Because the apostates, as Jehovah's Witnesses, knows the real truth of the Bible. At least I can say I have no understanding about the book of Ezekiel more than the governing body, more than the elders. So let's get into it.
Then he brought me back to the entrance of the temple, and there I saw water flowing eastward from under the threshold of the temple. For the front of the temple was facing east. The water was flowing down from under the right side of the temple, south of the altar.
Okay, let's pause it right there. Was this speaking about Solomon's temple? No. Is this speaking about Herod's temple when Christ was here on earth? No. This is talking about Ezekiel's temple when this wonderful gift is going to be flowing from Ezekiel's temple. So let's continue.
And then verse 8 reads, Then he said to me, This water flows toward the eastern region and continues down through the Arabah and enters the sea. When it enters the sea, the water there will be healed.
Thank you, Sister Parker. Now in chapter 48, Sister Sharon Marshall is going to share verse 30 and then 32 to 34.
Verse 30 reads, These will be the exits of the city. The northern side will measure 4,500 cubits. Verse 32 to 34, the eastern side will be 4,500 cubits long.
Okay. Now, what she's going to be describing is going to be like a city, which is going to be the earthly Jerusalem. Not the time period of King David. Not the time period when Herod's temple was rebuilt. This is talking about the future that has not happened yet. Oh, it's going to get better. So, just hold on. I know I've been in this this conversation with y'all about Ezekiel's temple, but trust me, it's going to get better. The thing is, the 12 tribes, the sons of Ezekiel, original name Jacob, none of the sons was on the gates when King David was alive. None of their sons' names was on the gates when Christ was here on earth. So that means this hasn't happened yet. The surprise is coming up very shortly.
And there are 3 gates, 1 gate for Joseph, 1 gate for Benjamin, and 1 gate for Dan. The southern side will measure 4,500 cubits, with 3 gates, 1 gate for Simeon, 1 gate for Issachar, and 1 gate for Zebulun. The western side will be 4,500 cubits long, with 3 gates, 1 gate for Gad, 1 gate for Asher, and 1 gate for Naphtali.
Thank you. We thank both of our readers. Now, a question on that is, why did the Jewish exiles not expect every detail of Ezekiel's vision to be fulfilled literally?
Now, the question here, they talk about the Jewish people think this is symbolic. Excuse me, the Jewish people in Jerusalem has already prepared many things already been put together for the third temple to be built. Ezekiel's temple. Now, here comes the fun part.
Literally. Sister Valdez, we'll start with you.
Although some details apply literally, something far greater is implied. First of all, the visionary temple on a whole was too large to fit on Mount Moriah, which was under the where the former temple was.
First of all, King Solomon's temple and Ezekiel's temple, I'm going to say they're probably both almost the same size. Maybe Ezekiel's temple may be bigger. But it's definitely, both of them is bigger than Herod's temple. So let's keep going forward.
Also, Ezekiel's temple was not in the city, but some distance away on a separate tract of land. And also the prophecy speaks of this river, but no literal river ever emerged from Jerusalem's temple. So all of this, just these 3 things, all imply something that must be greater spiritual fulfillment.
Thank you.
Now you may heard what she said. So every Jehovah's Witness heard everything from their own kingdom halls. That Ezekiel's temple was not in the original location of the first and the second temple. That is true. But here's the problem. And I want you, hopefully you caught this when you heard this again and examine what you heard through the second part of this video when the elder was giving this information out. Now, how many Jerusalems was on earth when Christ was here on earth? Now you got the one with King Herod's temple. That's one Jerusalem. And you got the second Jerusalem, which were the 12 tribes of of Israel, the names of 3 of his sons on the east, west, north, and south. 12 names, 12 gates. So that means there would have to be 2 Jerusalems, 2 different temples. Because remember, she said Ezekiel's temple was outside of Jerusalem, and it had its own piece of land. So you got 2 temples, 2 cities, Jerusalems. How come it never mentioned that from book of Matthew all the way to the book of Revelation? Now the book of Revelation does mention of Ezekiel's temple. Wow, even the cow wants to get into this conversation. That's when the true prophets, 2 prophets, is going to be preaching in front of the temple till the wild beast comes out and kill them, and these 2 prophets will go to heaven. Now, people, how did the Romans was able to destroy 2 Jerusalems, 2 temples, and when you go to Jewish Virtual Library, mentioned about the first temple destroyed in 587 BC. Second temple was destroyed 70 AD. It doesn't mention nothing about Ezekiel's temple being destroyed. It doesn't mention about the second Jerusalem being destroyed when the first temple of Herod's temple was being destroyed. Am I going too fast? Or do you comprehend what we've been trying to tell you? Watchtower is watching our videos. They realizing that we're waking people up on different things that's been in the Bible all this time. So they come up with this nonsense, and Jehovah's Witnesses now believing that Ezekiel's temple was built. Not only the temple would be built, it would have to be 2 separate temples and 2 different Jerusalems. You cannot have one of the other. That means you have to have 2 temples and 1 Jerusalem, or 2 separate Jerusalems and 2 separate temples. You know, it just makes me angry. How can the governing body so stupid to come up with something this stupid? I mean, they was better off saying that the 3rd temple was symbolic. Now they got a new light saying it was already built. If it was built and the Jerusalem of that time with the names all over it of Israel's sons, that river would be flowing from the right side of the temple out of Jerusalem, and it would be flowing outward. There would be trees on the right hand side, left hand side. There would have been a giant river would be headed straight out eastward, and it would have been massive. Please, people, that's not me chewing. That is a cow outside near my trailer is eating grass. So please don't think I am chewing food and talking at the same time, which somebody accused me before. That's a cow, not me chewing. Okay? But listen, Watchtower is losing their minds. The governing bodies proving more and more and more they are not spiritual guided by Christ or the Father. Now they may be spirit guided by Jehovah, which he is Satan the devil, or Jehovah is those idiots, what you call the governing body. So that means they make up crap when they realize they're getting busted. People, there was no two Jerusalems. There was only one, and that was Herod's temple. Was the last one was destroyed. When did Ezekiel's temple was destroyed? You didn't hear them mention that part. There's no evidence, proof that was destroyed. If it's not, that temple will be here today, people. It will be here today. We would be in the, probably would be in the 1,000 years or more if that temple was built in Christ's time when he was walking the earth. Something to think about. You cannot take a future prophecy and push it back when Christ walked the earth. There was only one temple at that time. And one temple was destroyed. There was no other temple. So this proves Watchtowers pulling stuff out of their rear end or their hats, how you want to look at it, feeding this garbage, what they call spiritual food, to all Jehovah's Witnesses. And people still think that I don't know about the Bible. People, reading the Bible is not that hard. Believing that you have the power to understand it better than the governing body, you do have that gift. Stop relying on men to teach you God's word. That's all I got to say. So, who will you trust? The Bible? Or those 7 idiots? Or that cow out there eating grass during the nighttime while I'm trying to make a video? It's your choice. Y'all have a nice evening, and I hope this brings you closer to understanding that why we left this ignorant, cult-like, false religion and return to the Bible, where the true knowledge and true salvation is through Christ and his Father. And our mediator is Christ. Not those 7 idiots claiming they are the chosen ones. They are chosen by Satan the devil. They are chosen to mislead every Jehovah's Witness or any person who falls into the trap of this false religion. But it's your choice to obey these men or walk away. And that's all I got to say. Think about what this video about, and think about how can you believe that garbage about the third temple was built at the time when the second temple was built. There's something to think about, people. And I'm glad I was able to analyze it and break it down and show you the real truth of the nonsense of the lies of Watchtower. That is my purpose. That is my job. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful evening.